All right, in this lesson we're going to look at application problems, and I think we will end up using either addition or subtraction of mixed numbers. I don't think I'm going to use the equation approach. We're just going to use keywords. The first one says, a market sold 2 packages of sliced beef weighing 5 1/3 pounds and 5 3/7 pounds. What was the total weight? A key word is total. Usually when you read the word total, it tells you to add the quantities. So to get the total weight, I'm going to take 5 1/3 and 5 3/7, and I'm going to add them together. The common denominator for 3 and 7 is 21. So this is 5 and some 21st. And this is 5 and some 21st. 3 goes into 21 7 times, and 7 times 1 is 7. 7 goes into 21 3 times, and 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to add these together. 7 and 9 gives me 16 over 21. 5 plus 5 is 10. That gives me 10. And 16 21st, and that is the total number of pounds. All right. Number 2. A carpenter used boards of length 7 4/9 feet and 3 26/27 feet in the construction of shelves. How many feet of board were used? All right, it doesn't say it, but it implies that it wants to know the total. So I'm going to add. I have 7 4/9, and I'm going to add to it 3 26/27. This time, when I look at those denominators, the larger denominator of 27 is a multiple of 9, so it is my common denominator. So I'm going to have 7 and some 27ths, and I have 3 and some 27ths. 9 goes into 27 3 times, and 3 times 4 is 12. No change here, so no change on the top. I'm going to add. When I add 2 and 6, it's 8, and 1 and 2 is 3, so I have 38 27ths. I add the whole numbers for 10. Now, we did this earlier. When you get an improper fraction, 38 27ths, you have to divide. 27 goes into 38 one time. 1 times 27 is 27. Subtract for 11, so I have 11 27ths. That means that I have 10 plus 1 and 11 27ths for a total of, let me get myself just a little bit more room. I have 11 and 11 27ths feet. So in this problem, I had to carry. I got an improper fraction, which turned into a mixed number, and then I had to add that in. Sometimes that is called carrying. All right, let's see what we're going to do with number 3. A salesman drove 196 1/10 miles away from Newark one day. The next day he drove 150 3/5 miles back toward Newark. How far was he from Newark? So let's just draw a little sketch. If this is Newark and he went 196 1/10 miles and stopped, and then he turned around and he drove back, but he didn't drive the entire way back. So what it wants to know is, how far does he have left to go? How far is he from Newark? Another way of saying that is, what's the leftover? What's the difference? When you read that, it should trigger that you need to subtract. So I have 196 and 1/10, and I want to subtract 150 and 3/5. The common denominator will be the larger denominator of 10. So that is 196 and some tenths. The bottom is going to be 150 and some tenths. No change in the first fraction, so it will stay 1/10. 5 goes into 10 2 times, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now this is a subtraction problem, and I can't take 6 from 1. So I borrow. This is now 195, and the 1 that I borrowed becomes a fraction. This tells me what it will be. It will be 10 over 10. So I'm going to rewrite one more time. This is 195, and 1 plus 10, or 11 tenths. This one is 150 and 6 tenths. Now I can subtract for 5 tenths. That's 6 from 11 is 5. Subtract here for 5. Subtract 5 from 9 for 4. One last thing. 5 tenths can be reduced. Dividing by 5, this will become 45 and 1/2 miles. And that's how far he still is from his original location of Newark. All right, let's look at number 4. It says a book cover is 10 3/5 inches by 11 19 25 inches. What is the total distance around, or the perimeter, of the cover of the book? Now we're going to assume that the book is rectangular. And mine's a little bit exaggerated. But if it is 10 3/5 inches here, and 11 19 25 inches here, we know that we have another side which is 10 3/5, and we have another side which is 11 19 25. To get the perimeter, I have to go all the way around, which means I have 4 numbers to add. So this one is going to be kind of long. I have 10 3/5 and another 10 3/5. I have 11 19 25 and another 11 19 25. The common denominator is the larger denominator of 25. So I'm going to have 10 and some 25ths, 10 and some 25ths, 11 and 25ths, 11 and 25ths. 5 goes into 25 5 times, and 5 times 3 is 15. The same thing for this one. The last two, the denominator stays the same, so does the numerator. So those 19s will come over. All right, I have a good bit to add. 5 plus 5 is 10, and 9 is 19, and another 9 is 28. This time, carry a 2. 2 and 1 is 3. That makes 4. That makes 5. That makes 6. I believe I have 68 25ths. When I add the numbers, 1 and 1 is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have, right now, the form will have to change, but right now I have 42 and 68 25ths. I have to take that improper fraction of 68 25ths and divide 25 into 68, it's going to go 2 times. 2 times 25 is 50 with an 18 remainder. So that is 18/25. I have 42 plus this improper fraction has become 2 and 18/25 for a final answer of 44 and 18/25. And that is the perimeter. It is the total distance around. All right, we have one more to look at. A woman is 6 5/6 inches taller than her daughter. The daughter is 70 5/9 inches tall. How tall is the woman? She is the daughter's height plus another 6 5/6 inches. So it is 70 5/9 plus 6 5/6. The common denominator for 9 and 6 is 18. That's a multiple of 9, and it is the least one, so the common denominator is 18. This will be 70 and some 18ths. This will be 6 and some 18ths. 9 goes into 18 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 goes into 18 3 times. And 3 times 5 is 15. When I add those, I get 25/18. I add these, and I get 76. This is another case where I got an improper fraction. I got 25/18. So I'll divide 18 into the 25. It goes once. 1 times 18 is 18. Subtract for 7. So it is 1 and 7/18. That means I have 76 plus 1 and 7/18, or 77 and 7/18 inches. That is the height of the woman. All right, it's time for you to practice.